coming up.
The Gelbvieh cattle have been extremely impressive.
We had over 60% came back prime. The market trend is 5%.
And later,
nobody can ever knock the black baldy cow, and that's why we have both Hereford and Angus.
see how the multi-breed programs of 2 seed stock producers benefit their customers. Next on The American Rancher. Hello, I'm Pam Minnick, and welcome to The American Rancher. At Judd Ranch, producing profitable and functional genetics for the commercial industry has always been their goal. Located an hour from Kansas City, Judd Ranch has been producing profitable and functional cattle since 1981. The Judds have 3 breeds, Gelbvieh, Red Angus, and Balancers, and their goal is to produce bulls that are deep, thick, and structurally sound. They've also stacked generations of easy-calving, high-maternal genetics with performance and superior beef traits. In fact, their commitment to producing top females runs so deep that the American Gelbvieh Association has recognized Judd Ranch as the #1 Dam of Merit program in the country for 21 of the past 25 years.
I told the family I wanted it to be a full-time job when we started out, and now it's 3 full-time jobs. But Judd Ranch is basically 100% seed stock operation. We're running right at 800 cows. We develop about 250 to 300 replacement heifers every year. This fall we calved about 486 cows, and out of those cows, literally no assists because of birth weight, and run extensive AI programs. The Gelbvieh cattle have really been extremely impressive as far as the amount of the fertility on the cattle and the milking ability of the cattle, all in one package. It seemed like the Gelbviehs have done really well, and they seem to be extremely adaptable to most climates. So we truly feel the Gelbviehs excel in growth, fertility, milking ability, which kind of goes along with growth. And we have bred these cattle where they're extremely easy calving and right there on the cutting edge on birth weight. Most of our customers realize the value of the maternal traits that we have to offer. They have gotten to be, so many of them, really good friends, tremendous producers, and the pounds of calves that we wean off of some of those operations, especially when you look at the locations that they're in, is just pretty phenomenal. They know where they want to go, and it's up to us to try to furnish them genetics that are going to get them where they need to be. Probably the largest benefit to some of those maternal traits is the longevity of the cows, as well as, you can keep cows longer, save a lot less replacement females, and have to calve a lot less heifers. So, put it in a nutshell, save a ranch a lot of money. The maternal traits, especially if you infuse them into a crossbreeding program with other breeds and some of these other herds, you just maximize the longevity and fertility in those cows. Once that cow gets past that second, third calf, they're just so much easier to manage. Less feed, you just turn them out on the grass, maybe give them just a little bit of protein, and those cows are going to do it for you every year. Out of the 313 bulls that we sold last year, the average birth weight on those bulls was 79 pounds. So that tells you, if that's the mean, that means those bulls basically went from about 88 or 9 pounds down into the 60s on birth weight. Well, I guess the way we select for both docility and teat, udder quality would be, we score those cows the minute that calf hits the ground. And so when we take teat udder scores, it's before the calf ever gets up. We're looking at the udder before it's ever been touched. We feel like the maternal strength of the Judd Ranch herd is as high as about any herd in the nation. From a production standpoint, the Gelbviehs are second to none, and as far as we're concerned, that's what keeps you in the cow business. It's just incredible where these cattle have come in the last 30 years. They're so docile, such good mothers, and so easy to work with. It makes a guy that's getting older like me think he can do it for quite a few more years.
Welcome back to The American Rancher. The story of Judd Ranch began in 1981 when Dave and Cindy Judd bought the ranch in East Central Kansas. Today, it ranks as one of the top 100 largest seed stock operations in the country. But in many respects, the Judds have done it unconventionally. Early on, they saw opportunities in producing Gelbviehs, a highly maternal and performance breed that's complementary to Angus. And by doing so, they've provided their customers with genetics that balance calving ease, growth, carcass, and fertility, and also infuse their herds with heterosis, which improves health, longevity, and performance. The Judd Ranch complete package has translated into high demand from the commercial industry. In 2022, 35 of their top-selling 40 bulls sold to commercial customers like these.
I'm Bob Blazer. We're from Falcon, Missouri. My wife, daughters, and I run a 200-cow herd. I think we're a lot like a lot of other farming enterprises and ranch operations where we've tried other breeds. And through the years, in 2012 to be exact, we came to our first Judd Ranch sale here at Pomona, Kansas. Came with the idea of looking into the Gelbvieh breed, had no desire, no interest at that time to purchase a bull. And as it turns out, we went home with 2 bulls from that first sale in 2012, which we've now put everything into our genetics as a Gelbvieh balancer herd.
The first thing Gelbvieh is known for is their mama cows. The ability for those girls to milk and produce big weaned calves, and then also, you know, just continue to provide the growth. So we really wanted to focus on the maternal side, but we can't lose that power and the carcass traits. And I think the Judd cattle probably put the best all-around picture together that really, the perfect bull, I think usually, you know, you can find here.
Pounds paid. You know, that's what we want is, you know, we want to have the biggest, best calves that go to market. Our goal is to eventually, you know, take calves plumb to the feedlot and onto the processing plant and see how they hang on the rail, you know, and we want something that'll hang on the rail good, you know, to try to make that extra dollar also.
The Judd genetics on the carcass side has just been phenomenal. 2 years ago, the data that we've received back, we had over 60% of the steers that we sent grade and yield came back prime. So when we're talking 60 and the market average is 5, no wonder everybody was so awed by what we did. So we were very, very happy, which is why we come back.
The feeder calves have just been amazing. We've gained about 50 pounds of weaning weight using the Judd Ranch bulls.
If you want friendly people and if you want good cattle and you put them all together, come to Judd Ranch.
The bulls look better and better every single year, and I have no idea how they do it. They look incredible. It's hard to narrow them down, which is great, because then you can about buy anything that comes in. And every single year they produce this incredibly uniform, performing set of bulls. You know, we were happy with our genetics prior to coming down here, and we could see how incredible their operation was, and so we were ready to expand a little bit into trying some new genetics in our herd. When we first introduced the Judd bulls, we were blown away. Our weaning weight went up 50 pounds that first year, and that was the only thing we had changed. The more that we add the bulls into the mix, and now that we're starting to get some female replacements out of them, we're just completely blown away. We've really found the Gelbviehs to be an incredible breed for those maternal qualities. They produce an excellent amount of milk. Those calves really do grow up to be about the same size as their mama when they are weaned, and it's something we really like to see.
The typical Judd Ranch cow for me is actually not typical. It's an amazing animal. It's an animal, as Dave Judd would tell you, that can wean off 60% of the cow's body weight, when most people are happy with 50%.
I've been coming by their bulls for nearly 30 years. They have put more dollars in my pocket, that's for sure. I told Dave Judd years ago that his cows paid for my farm, and they did.
Well, they're just first-class people. I mean, I can't say enough good things about them. They're honest people who go out of their way to make you feel at home when you get here. They will talk to you day or night if you call. They will visit with you if you come to the ranch. You can just trust the numbers that they give you.
I think it's the integrity of what the Judd family has in the beef industry and what we've witnessed now, having worked with them and their genetics for 5 years. There's other producers that have worked with them longer, but those core values, the integrity, the sincerity side of it, you know, if there's a problem, they're only a phone call away.
From a business standpoint, they've been the perfect team player. We can call them up with any questions, whether it pertains to their bulls or their genetics or anything in our operation that we might have a question about. You know, we feel so welcome here. We feel so welcome by their whole family, and we just really enjoy coming down here, and we really enjoy working with the Judds.
The Judd Ranch Complete Package, calving ease, growth, carcass, and fertility, and a proven source for heterosis. The Judd Ranch 2023 spring sale features 194 head of fall yearlings and 130 spring-born bulls. 195 head are black and polled, and 308 head are homozygous polled. Average actual weaning weight for all bulls was 856 pounds. Average actual birth weight was a low 78 pounds. And for calving ease, direct EPD, the Judd Ranch bulls rank in the top 20% of the Gelbvieh breed and top 20% for Balancers. Judd Ranch 45th Annual Bull Sale takes place on March 4th in Pomona, Kansas, 1 hour southwest of Kansas City. The internet live broadcast is on liveauctions.tv. Quality acceptance is guaranteed on all sight unseen purchases, and free trucking is offered in the continental U.S. on purchases of $20,000 or more. Trucking is typically very affordable, as Judd Ranch bulls annually sell into 20+ states. Please visit juddranch.com to learn more. They'll be happy to visit with you. The American Rancher will be right back. Welcome back to the American Rancher. Based in Thedford, Nebraska, the Hoffman family operates a highly respected multi-breed seed stock program. Overseeing operations is Dennis Hoffman and his son Jason. The family's history in the seed stock business goes back 3 generations. In addition to Sim Angus offerings, the Hoffmans develop Hereford and Angus genetics for their customers because they recognize the strong commercial benefits of Black Baldy hybrid vigor when crossing the 2 breeds.
At one time, there was nothing but Hereford cattle in a majority of the U.S. And the Hereford cattle that carried some of the problems that people still like to bring up from 30 years ago, those cattle got eliminated when times got tough. The breeds got strength, and the breeds needed for a crossbreeding sector too now. It adds several traits that you're not going to get through any other straight bred type commercial cattle. Adds longevity, adds structural correctness, ruggedness, feed efficiency. A lot of guys will buy Hereford bulls and you know, they'll get 6-7 seasons out of them. You've kind of heard every joke there has been about Hereford cattle, but nobody can ever knock the Black Baldy cow. And that's why we have both Hereford and Angus. Because we don't necessarily preach to our guys that they need to be straight Hereford at all, but we do preach the power of the Black Baldy cow and the power of the Black Baldy feeder calf. So the 2 breeds complement each other extremely well. We have an extensive embryo program, and I don't know if everybody always totally understands the embryo deal. It's not
major science say it's simply kind of a step up from an AI program. But at the same time, it allows you to maximize your best genetics. And it allows us to sell big groups of full brothers. And, you know, some ranches might want that. And I think it adds a lot of genetic strength to a commercial cow herd if they tie together similar genetics too. And our embryo program lets us do that. And it also lets us have large sire groups. And now we're running a lot more cow herd too than what we've had. We've taken on another long-term lease that we have, and it'll run a substantial amount of spring cows. So we just really try and manipulate the best genetics we can out there. We don't skimp on anything. I think we take it very serious, and we keep all the little things in check, and it seems like it kind of takes care of the big things in the end. But we just really watch the structure on these cattle. I think we really keep our nose to the grindstone on foot quality and longevity in both the Hereford and Angus cattle. You know, every breed needs improvements, and I don't think we're too proud in either breed to ignore that. And we want to fix the major problems or the little things too that the different breeds have. We want to get taken care of here so they don't ever factor in later when our commercial producers have them in production. We've built a feedlot here by my house. This allows us to sort up our bulls a little bit better, make them a little bit uniform, put them in smaller groups. They're right here handy when people come look. You can get through a lot of bulls in a hurry here. And at weaning, we'll bring in our spring calves, and we develop them pretty slow, and we don't want them gaining much over 3 pounds a day. Our older bulls and coming 2-year-olds for our sale, they're all developed on grass. So they're ran a lot like commercial cattle to the point of the winter before the bull sale. And then we bring those bulls in, and as much as anything, we don't have the time to get out and go feed these bulls in the pasture and stuff in the winter. So we do bring them in a lot, but they're developed on grass until like the last 3 months before the bull sale. And we rely a lot on the compensatory gain these bulls will put on for our sale. But it's awfully important to us to keep the feet and legs under them, so we've really focused on not developing these bulls in a lot through the summer on the older bulls. We make sure they get a lot of exercise and they're out on pasture or huge traps, just to offer more longevity for our customers.
All our bulls will be fertility tested within 2 weeks of the sale, and if they do not pass, they do not go in the sale. We don't let anything be marginal. Our local vet does all of that here. You know, it's a good deal. And we, you know, as far as checking our cattle, I go a horseback. We check them with a 4-wheeler Ranger. These bulls are subject to anything our customer does. Dogs, I use dogs to gather bulls out of the pen, so they're dog broke. They have a wide range of handling.
You know, the bulls are all handled on foot and on horseback, and with the 4-wheeler a little bit too. And yeah, we feel like everything that leaves here is really pretty well mannered and can be handled by anybody, you know. So I mean, and that's important to us too. You know, we've got a lot of young kids running around and stuff, and we don't want anything around here that's chasing anybody off.
We do a lot of things as far as in the summer, kind of touching base with customers and seeing where they're going to sell their calves. And I think it doesn't just necessarily get down to the crunch time of the sale, because we prep for this thing all year. And you know, we try and do a better job all the time of communicating with our customers. We've started a website, herefordinfluence.com, where we list all of our customers' cattle for free, no matter where they're selling them, on the video, at a sale barn, or in the country. However they want to sell them, we don't want to interfere with that, but we do want to get them more exposure. And we've got a Facebook just for that. We put them on Hoffman Ranch's Facebook, or we put them on Hereford Influence's Facebook. And we try and really drive that out and push our genetics through our commercial customers. And we really try and work at that throughout the year. And we've hired 2 great people in our program, Darvin and Tanya Nix, a married couple. Darvin takes care of the feedlot and the day-to-day stuff on that. Tanya takes care of a lot of the book work, or helps us process bulls. she can kind of do everything, but she's done a really good job this year. Anytime somebody's called me and said, hey, I've got these calves that we're gonna sell next week, I'll have Tanya get a hold of them. She calls, she lists the cattle on our HerefordInfluence.com. And it's not just limited to Herefords either. It's our Sim Angus progeny goes on there, our Angus progeny goes on there. I just named that a little too soon when we only had Herefords, but she does a really good job of putting all that up there, and if they'll just kind of communicate with us and let us know what's going on, we don't miss a beat there anymore. And it's sold a lot of cattle too, and with that she sends out a huge email list to different buyers and feeders when our customers' calves are either selling in town or on the video or in the country.
We feel that herd health is a big part of what we're doing here, you know, and I feel like we work really hard to keep all the problems out of these cattle. If there is problems, they're dang sure taken care of and gone before they ever reach our customers, you know, and we're really proud of the end product that we send out and feel like we've had really good feedback over the last couple of years and a lot of happy repeat customers.
Any good program or product starts with good people. And honesty and integrity runs real deep there. Just the best people to deal with. You get the total package. He'll help you market your products, stands behind their bulls. Just extremely pleased with the way the bulls held up and the quality.
We've added weight to the cattle, have a lot more thickness and depth. I think with the Angus and the Hereford crossed together, we've put the two of the best things there are in one package.
His bulls last a long time, and that's the biggest thing that keeps me coming back. Is his bulls are sound, he conditions them right, develops them right, and they last forever.
The entire family works on the ranch, and as every ranch family knows, generational commitment is the bedrock of preserving the ranching way of life.
It's probably every cowman's dream or every rancher's dream to have a son involved in the operation. We've got another generation coming up in Jason's kids. He's got 3 really good kids, and hopefully one of those will want to take it over. But there's just something about a family operation that it makes it easier to fight all the struggles and all the battles. And I don't think there's probably ever a prouder moment than to have a father have his son come into the operation and know that maybe the things that you've worked for all your life are going to continue on, and that's important.
Plan to attend the Hoffman Spring Bull Sale on Friday, February 17th at the Hoffman Sale Facility in Thedford, Nebraska. This year, the Hoffmans are offering over 100 elite Angus and Hereford bulls. And if you can't attend in person, bidding is available on superiorclicktobid.com. The success of Hoffman and Judd ranches is based on knowing what their customers want when it comes to high-performance genetics. Each producer is devoted to a specific breeding program that generates profit for their growing customer base. That's all the time we have today. To find out more about us, visit our website, theamericanrancher.com, or connect with us on Facebook. I'm Pam Minnick. For our entire American Rancher team, thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time.